Every year, the Pacific stirs with power, but 2025 is different. Experts are warning that this year's Eastern Pacific hurricane season could be one of the most intense on record, and when the winds rise and the water surges, only one thing stands between you and disaster: preparation. In this video, we're revealing 20 survival items you need to stockpile before the first storm even forms. These aren't just the basics. Some of these are lesser known essentials that most people forget until it's too late. You'll learn what to store, why it matters, and how each item could be the difference between safety and chaos. Whether you're facing power outages, flooded roads, or supply chain collapse, you'll want every second of this guide, so stick with us till the end. Your safety could depend on it. Welcome to your channel name, your go-to source for smart survival, prepping, and disaster readiness. Don't forget to subscribe and stay one step ahead of the storm. Item 1. Bottled water. Before we talk about the high-tech gear and emergency gadgets, let's start with something far more basic and yet absolutely vital: clean drinking water. It's easy to take water for granted until the taps go dry. During a hurricane, water lines can be damaged, flooded, or even shut off for days, and once that happens, local stores empty out in hours. You won't find a single bottle left on the shelves. That's why experts recommend at least 1 gallon per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. But here's what most people miss: that's just for drinking. If you plan to cook, clean wounds, brush your teeth, or even wash your hands, you'll need more. Imagine a family of 4. That's 12 gallons bare minimum just to get through 72 hours. And if supply trucks can't reach your area, you'll wish you had more. Another overlooked detail: hurricanes often strike in warmer months. In high heat, the human body loses water faster. Dehydration doesn't wait politely. It can hit hard, especially for children, the elderly, and those with medical conditions. And while some might think they can boil or purify water later, that assumes you'll have fuel, filters, or clean containers. In an emergency, there's no time for if everything goes right. Stocking bottled water is simple, reliable, and non-negotiable. Now that we've covered the most fundamental need for survival, let's move on to a backup most people forget until it's too late. Item 2. Water purification tablets or filters. Before we move into gear and gadgets, let's talk about what happens after your bottled water runs out. Because if a hurricane shuts down infrastructure for a week or more, you'll need a backup plan. This is where water purification tablets or portable filters come in. Floods and broken pipelines can contaminate water with bacteria, chemicals, and sewage. It might look clean, it might even smell okay, but one sip could lead to serious illness, or worse, when medical help is already stretched thin. Water purification tablets are compact, cheap, and effective. Just one can disinfect a liter of water in under 30 minutes, and they last for years. No batteries, no moving parts, just drop it in and wait. If you want something reusable, a portable water filter like a Life Straw or Sawyer filter is a smart choice. These tools are used by hikers and survivalists all over the world to safely drink from rivers, lakes, and rain barrels. Some can purify thousands of liters before needing replacement. And here's a fact most people overlook: after a major storm, even tap water might be unsafe to drink until it's tested and cleared. That means your own kitchen sink could be a threat. Having purification tools on hand gives you peace of mind. No matter what's in the pipes, puddles, or barrels, you'll have a way to make water safe again. Up next, let's talk about what you'll need when the food supply starts to crumble. Item 3. Non-perishable foods. Canned goods. Before we dive into tools and gear, let's talk about something every person needs: calories. When supply chains shut down and grocery stores are either closed or cleaned out, non-perishable food becomes your lifeline. Think about this: after a hurricane, power can be out for days. Refrigerators stop working, freezers melt down, all that fresh food gone. What you're left with is whatever doesn't need cooking, cooling, or constant care. That's why canned goods, dry mixes, and long shelf life staples are so important. Canned beans, fruits, vegetables, soups, these last for years and can be eaten cold if needed. Add in peanut butter, protein bars, instant oats, powdered milk, and crackers, and you've got fuel that won't spoil. And don't just stock up randomly. Think about variety, nutrition, and comfort. High-energy foods with protein and fat will keep you fuller longer. Familiar tastes, like canned pasta or fruit cups, can boost morale, especially for kids. Here's something many overlook: emergency stress burns calories. Item 4. Manual can opener. Before we move on to communication tools and lighting, let's stop and talk about something incredibly simple, yet absolutely essential: a manual can opener. You've stocked up on canned goods, that's smart. They're durable, nutritious, and shelf-stable. But here's the reality: when the power's out, your electric can opener becomes nothing more than dead weight. It happens more often than you'd think. People prepare stacks of food, but forget the one tool needed to access it. In an emergency, frustration can build fast. The last thing you want is to be wrestling with cans using a knife or screwdriver in the dark. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. A sturdy handheld can opener takes up hardly any space, but it could be one of the most used items in your supply kit. Choose one with a comfortable grip and a smooth turning handle. You may need to open a dozen cans a day for yourself and your family. Here's a lesser known tip: test it before storing it. Some cheap models jam or rust easily, and in a real crisis, you won't have time to fix a tool that's supposed to make life easier. You might even consider keeping a backup. They're inexpensive, lightweight, and easy to store. In an emergency, small things make a big difference. Now that your food and water are covered, let's turn to the one thing that could connect you to the outside world when everything else goes silent. Item 5. Battery-powered or hand crank radio. Before we get into flashlights and batteries, let's talk about how you'll stay informed when the storm hits and the power goes out. Cell phones and the internet are great until they aren't. During major hurricanes, networks can fail or become overloaded. That's when a battery-powered or hand crank radio becomes your most reliable connection to the outside world. With a simple radio, you can receive critical weather alerts, evacuation orders, and emergency broadcasts. It keeps you one step ahead of danger. Knowing what's coming or what's safe can save lives. Here's something most people don't realize: many emergency services still use traditional radio frequencies even when everything else is down. This means your radio might pick up messages no smartphone can. A hand crank radio has the added benefit of never needing batteries. You generate power by turning a crank. Perfect for long outages when replacements are scarce. When choosing a radio, look for one that covers NOAA weather bands and has multiple power options: battery, crank, and even solar. Remember, information is power. Even a small device like this can mean the difference between being caught off guard or being prepared. Next, we'll talk about another must-have that keeps your emergency devices alive. Item 6. Extra batteries. Before we jump into flashlights and candles, it's crucial to think about what keeps all your essential devices running: batteries. During a hurricane, power outages can last days or even weeks. Without electricity, everything from your flashlight to your radio depends on batteries to function. But here's the catch: most people don't stock enough extras, and stores quickly run dry when storms approach. It's smart to gather a variety of battery sizes, AA, AAD, and 9 volt, to cover all your devices. Flashlights, radios, portable fans, and even some small medical devices rely on these power sources. A lesser-known fact: some devices drain batteries faster in cold or hot weather. So having plenty of spares on hand means you won't be left in the dark when you need light or vital information the most. Store batteries in a cool, dry place and keep them in their original packaging or a battery organizer to avoid corrosion or accidental draining. Pro tip: avoid mixing old and new batteries or different brands in the same device. This can cause leaks or reduce performance. Having extra batteries ready might seem simple, but in an emergency, it's one of the most critical parts of staying connected and safe. Next up, we'll cover the lighting essentials that keep your home illuminated when the grid goes down. Item 7. Flashlights. Before we talk about candles and matches, let's focus on your main source of light during a hurricane: flashlights. When the power goes out, darkness can feel overwhelming and even dangerous. A good flashlight provides more than just light. It offers a sense of control and safety. Navigating your home, checking on family members, or signaling for help becomes possible with a reliable beam. LED flashlights are the best choice because they use less battery power and last much longer than traditional bulbs. Plus, they're durable and can handle rough conditions, which are common during storms. One thing most people forget is to have multiple flashlights, one for every member of the family. Sharing a single flashlight means someone is always left in the dark. Also, keep your flashlights stored in easy-to-reach places so you can grab them quickly when the lights flicker out. Item 8. Candles and matches. Before we move on to first aid, it's important to have a backup lighting plan, one that doesn't rely on batteries or electricity. Candles and matches are simple, old school, but incredibly effective. When flashlights fail or your extra batteries run dry, candles can keep you safe and give you light to move around your home. But there are some things most people don't think about. Candles should be stored in a safe, dry place away from anything flammable, and always keep a metal or glass holder nearby to prevent accidents. Waterproof or stormproof matches are another must-have. Regular matches can get ruined if they get wet, so investing in a waterproof box or strike anywhere matches can save you when it counts. One lesser-known fact: avoid using candles unattended or leaving them burning while you sleep. They are a fire hazard if not carefully managed. Having candles and matches gives you options, because no one can predict how long a blackout might last during hurricane season. Now that we've covered lighting, let's move on to a critical part of your emergency kit that can protect your health. Item 9, First Aid Kit. Before we talk about medications, let's focus on something that can make a real difference when accidents happen: a well-stocked first aid kit. Hurricanes bring danger beyond just wind and water. Broken glass, fallen debris, and power outages can lead to cuts, bruises, and infections. Having a first aid kit ready means you can treat minor injuries quickly, preventing them from becoming serious. A good kit should include essentials like bandages, antiseptic wipes, gauze pads, adhesive tape, scissors, and tweezers. Don't forget pain relievers and allergy medications. These items can be lifesavers when medical help is delayed. Here's something most people overlook: check your kit regularly. Replace expired medicines and restock any used supplies. First aid kit isn't something you buy once and forget. It needs ongoing care. Consider adding specialty items if someone in your household has specific needs, like glucose tablets for diabetics or an epinephrine injector for severe allergies. Keeping your first aid kit in a waterproof, easy-to-carry container is a smart move. That way, you can grab it fast if you need to evacuate or move around during the storm. Up next, we'll cover prescription medications, another essential you can't afford to overlook. Item 10, prescription medications. Before we move on to personal hygiene, let's talk about something that many people forget until a crisis hits: their prescription medications. When a hurricane strikes, pharmacies may close, and access to doctors or hospitals can be limited or delayed. If you rely on medication daily for blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, or other health issues, running out could put your life at serious risk. It's essential to have at least a 7-day supply of all your prescription drugs stocked and ready. If possible, talk to your doctor about getting extra refills before hurricane season begins. Here's a lesser-known fact: some medications need to be stored carefully to avoid damage. Heat, moisture, or freezing temperatures can make medicines less effective or even unsafe. Make sure you keep them in a cool, dry place, preferably in their original containers with clear labels. If you use insulin or other injectables, plan ahead for refrigeration needs and have a backup plan in case of power outages. Also, keep a list of your medications, doses, and prescribing doctors somewhere safe and easily accessible. This will help if you need medical help or have to evacuate. Being prepared with your medications isn't just smart, it's critical for your survival. Next, we'll cover essential personal hygiene items that often get overlooked in emergency kits. Item 11, sanitation supplies. Before we talk about personal hygiene products, let's focus on something that's easy to overlook but vital during a hurricane: sanitation supplies. When flooding and power outages hit, access to running water can disappear quickly. Without water, flushing toilets, washing hands, and staying clean becomes a huge challenge. This is where items like moist towelettes, garbage bags, and plastic ties come in. Moist towelettes are a lifesaver for quick cleaning when showers aren't possible. Garbage bags and plastic ties help you manage waste safely, preventing odors and contamination inside your home. Here's a fact many people don't realize: poor sanitation during disasters can lead to outbreaks of illness, making an already bad situation worse. Keeping things clean helps protect you and your family from infections and disease. It's also smart to have a portable toilet solution if you can't use your regular bathroom. Some people use heavy-duty trash bags lined in buckets, but there are also commercial emergency toilets designed for short-term use. Item 12, personal hygiene item. Before we move on to tools and equipment, let's talk about personal hygiene, something that often gets forgotten but is incredibly important during a hurricane emergency. When water is limited and showers are out of the question, items like soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, feminine hygiene products, and deodorant become essentials. Staying clean isn't just about comfort. It helps prevent skin infections, rashes, and other health problems. Many people underestimate how much hygiene affects morale too. Feeling clean and fresh can lift spirits during stressful times and keep everyone's mood steadier. Don't forget items like wet wipes and hand sanitizer. These are perfect for quick cleaning and reducing germs when soap and water aren't available. Here's a tip. Pack enough for everyone in your household and consider individual small packs that are easy to carry if you need to evacuate. Keeping personal hygiene supplies stocked might not seem urgent until the power and water are out, but having them ready can make a huge difference in your family's health and comfort. Next, we'll look at an essential item that helps you cook and heat food when the power's gone. Item 13, portable stove or camping stove. Before we get to lighting and tools, let's focus on how you'll prepare food during a blackout. When hurricanes knock out electricity, electric stoves and ovens become useless. That's why having a portable stove or camping stove is crucial. These stoves run on propane, butane, or other small fuel canisters, making them easy to use indoors or outside. They allow you to heat canned food, boil water, or cook simple meals without power. One thing many people don't realize is that cooking without proper ventilation can be dangerous. Always use these stoves in well-ventilated areas to avoid carbon monoxide buildup. Fuel storage is another key point. Keep extra fuel canisters sealed and stored safely away from heat sources. Also check that your stove is in good working condition before the season starts. Clean the burners and test the ignition to avoid surprises. Having a portable stove not only ensures you'll eat warm food, but can also boost morale during tough times. Next up, we'll cover the item that helps you store and preserve food when refrigerators fail. Item 14, coolers and ice packs. Before we move on to tools and protective gear, let's talk about preserving food when your fridge stops working. During extended outages, keeping perishables cold is a huge challenge. That's where coolers and ice packs become lifesavers. A good cooler can keep your food fresh for days if you pack it properly with plenty of ice or ice packs. This slows down spoilage and reduces waste. Here's something many overlook. Using block ice instead of cubed ice lasts longer, and freezing water bottles to use as ice packs is a smart, space-saving trick. Make sure to keep coolers in a shaded, cool spot to maximize their effectiveness. Also, avoid opening the cooler unnecessarily to maintain the cold temperature inside. Coolers aren't just for food, they can also store important medications that require refrigeration, like insulin. Stock up on reusable ice packs or disposable ice if you can, and have a plan for replenishing ice if the outage lasts long. Having coolers and ice packs ready can help you ride out the storm with less food spoilage and more peace of mind. Next, let's discuss an item that keeps you dry and protected from the elements. Item 15, waterproof clothing or ponchos. Before we talk about shelter and blankets, let's focus on something that often gets overlooked but is crucial during a hurricane: waterproof clothing or ponchos. When torrential rain and flooding hit, staying dry isn't just about comfort, it's about preventing hypothermia and illness. Wet clothes can quickly sap your body heat, especially if you're outside helping with storm damage or evacuating. Ponchos and waterproof jackets are lightweight, easy to pack, and provide essential protection from wind and rain. They can also serve as temporary shelter or ground cover in emergencies. A common mistake is thinking you'll be fine with just a regular raincoat or umbrella. Hurricanes bring heavy, relentless rain and wind that can soak you through quickly. Make sure your waterproof gear covers most of your body and is breathable enough to avoid overheating. Also, don't forget waterproof boots or shoes to keep your feet dry and prevent infections from walking in floodwaters. Having proper waterproof clothing helps you stay healthier and more comfortable when the storm is raging outside. Up next, we'll cover another key item that protects you from the elements and keeps you warm. Item 16, emergency blankets or sleeping bags. Before we talk about tools and communication devices, let's focus on staying warm and protected during a hurricane. Power outages can leave your home cold, especially at night or during rainy, windy weather. Emergency blankets or sleeping bags are lightweight, compact, and designed to retain body heat, helping prevent hypothermia. These blankets are made from special materials that reflect your body heat back to you, trapping warmth even in damp conditions. Sleeping bags designed for emergency use are easy to carry and provide insulation without bulk, perfect if you need to evacuate or sleep in a shelter. Here's a tip many people miss. Keep your emergency blankets in your go bag or emergency kit so you can grab them quickly. Even if it's warm outside, storms can bring sudden temperature drops, and wet clothes can make you feel much colder than usual. Having reliable warmth is not just about comfort, it's about survival. Next, we'll cover an item that can help you make quick repairs during and after a storm. Item 17, copies of personal documents. Before we get into multi-tools and other gear, let's talk about something that many people overlook until it's too late: copies of your personal documents. During a hurricane, important papers like IDs, passports, insurance policies, medical records, and bank information can get lost or damaged. Having copies stored safely ensures you can access them when you need to file claims, prove your identity, or get medical help. A good practice is to keep both physical copies in a waterproof, fireproof container and digital copies stored securely online or on a USB drive. Here's a lesser-known tip. Consider sharing encrypted digital copies with a trusted family member or friend outside the disaster zone for extra backup. Don't wait until a storm is approaching. Gather and organize your documents now. Having these copies ready can save you from major headaches during an emergency. Next, we'll move on to your all-in-one survival gadget, the multi-tool. Item 18, cash. Before we move on to other essentials, let's talk about something simple but often forgotten: cash in small denominations. During and after a hurricane, power outages can shut down ATMs and card payment systems. Having cash on hand means you can buy supplies, fuel, or pay for services even when electronic payments aren't possible. It's smart to carry a mix of small bills, ones, fives, and tens, since larger bills can be harder to break in emergency situations. Here's a lesser-known fact: some stores may only accept cash during power outages, and making change can be difficult, so having exact or close amounts can speed up transactions. Keep your cash stored safely in a waterproof container or a secure place that's easy to grab in an emergency. Starting now to set aside cash can make a huge difference when the storm hits and infrastructure is disrupted. Next, we'll cover a versatile survival tool that fits right in your pocket. Item 19, baby supplies. Before we move on to emergency communication devices, let's talk about a critical but sometimes overlooked group of supplies: baby essentials. If you have infants or toddlers at home, stocking up on formula, diapers, bottles, baby wipes, and any special medications or creams is absolutely vital. During a hurricane, access to stores and pharmacies might be cut off for days, so having enough supplies can keep your baby safe, healthy, and comfortable. Here's something many parents don't realize: formula and baby food have limited shelf lives, so rotate your stock regularly to avoid expired items. Also, consider extras like pacifiers, blankets, and baby clothes to keep your little one calm and warm during stressful times. Packing these items in a separate, easy-to-grab bag can make quick evacuation smoother and less stressful. Preparing well for your baby's needs isn't just smart, it's essential for their survival and your peace of mind. Next, we'll cover a vital tool for staying connected during emergencies. Item 20, pet supplies. Before we wrap up, let's talk about something that many pet owners might forget in the chaos of preparing for a hurricane: pet supplies. If you have pets, stocking up on enough food, water, medications, and other essentials like leashes, carriers, and waste bags is crucial. During a hurricane, your pets can become stressed or frightened, so having familiar items helps keep them calm and safe. Here's a lesser-known fact: some emergency shelters don't accept pets, so planning ahead with supplies for sheltering in place or finding pet-friendly locations is important. Make sure you have enough food and water for at least 3 days and keep everything stored in waterproof containers. Packing a pet emergency kit can make evacuation easier and less stressful for both you and your animals. Taking care of your pets isn't just compassionate, it's part of a complete emergency plan.